Okay, everybody. Hello, this is Elisa at Learn Piano Online. I'm so glad you're here and I'm excited about being here. The first thing you're going to see on the screen is the page that you're on. And I wanted to just go over a couple of things before we get started. On this particular page that you're on, I have embedded the video, the live broadcast video. So you should be able to see that. If not, there would be an error on that video telling you what to do to be able to see it. So hopefully you've taken care of all that before this started so that you won't be fiddling around with that. And the other thing I wanted to mention was that I did say, I wrote up here that I wouldn't be able to read your comments or do any immediate commenting back. But what I can do is I could check this page and let's see. Let me just make sure that I'm doing everything right. It looks to me like I need to I'm going to actually go to my page. Let's see. So to make sure that this is working and that you're seeing the broadcast. You can go ahead and comment because I should be able to see them. Let me just, okay, I see that it's working, so it's going to be confusing. It's going to be confusing if I try to play that at the same time that I'm talking because, okay. Okay, so I'm going to look at the comments right now to see if everyone here is able to hear me. Refresh your page if you can hear me, and go ahead and comment below or on top. There's a little red link right on top above the video all the way up to where it says live practice session. Right below it, there's a red link that says comments. You can go there and you can leave a comment and let me know if you're hearing this. I'm going to refresh so that I can see if there's any new comments coming up. A red link right on top of the video all the way up. Okay, so I am watching this on another computer. For me, it's working. I'm also watching it on an iPad, so it's working there. But I don't know what everyone else has. You know what browsers you're using, and your internet access. So again, I'm not sure if your comments are going to come up live. I hope they do, because I'm refreshing so that I could see if anything new is coming in. That way I can continue, assuming that some of you at least are hearing this. Awesome. Okay, so I do have some comments here. You can probably see your comments online right here on the video. I'm hearing that everyone so far that has commented can hear me. There's 2 comments. Okay, so I came on just a little bit early. It's only a couple minutes after the hour right now, so I'm just going to wait a couple more minutes before we get started with looking at going to the piano and taking this off of screen share. Right now I'm sharing my screen so you can see my screen. And I'm just so excited. I couldn't sleep last night. This is the first time I've ever done anything live like this, aside from I've done webinars, but I haven't really done any live streaming where you'll be able to see me play the piano and go through some basic rhythms. We're going to just go through a couple pages that I get a lot of questions on. And it'll be really elementary today, but this is just a test. I just want to make sure that the piano looks good, it sounds good, and I can switch between piano and screen share, and you can see everything. So what I want to do is have these practice sessions on a regular basis, and I also want to see if this will work with private lessons or group lessons as well. So if you're interested in testing this with me, where we can actually switch cameras, where I could see your hands on your piano and you can see mine on my piano. If you want to do that kind of testing, send me an email. And I think you do need to have a Google Plus account or a YouTube account, but I really haven't researched into it a lot. Just let me know if you're interested in group lessons or private lessons. I'll be offering them soon, I hope, if it works. And I'm not sure what it'll cost yet. It won't cost very much, probably not more than what I do at home for piano lessons. Well, it won't be what I do at home for piano lessons. So anyway, okay, so anyone else who has joined in the last couple minutes since I've been talking, go ahead and refresh your page. And well, actually, I'm going to refresh my page. I'm going to see if there's any more comments. What I'm looking for is comments that tell me that you can hear me and you can see the screen. Okay, I'm just reading right now. Okay, this is good. I like knowing what you're on. So here, this one, Virginia says, I am hearing you fine. I'm on a laptop with Firefox. That's good to know. Coming in loud and clear. Here's somebody. I could hear you well in the Czech Republic. Alina, my husband is full Czech. We've never been there. He doesn't know the language, but his mom and grandma make kolaches and other dishes that we really enjoy. So that's cool. Okay, any other countries out there outside the United States? This is fun. Okay, so let's go ahead and go on to another screen. So I'm going to switch you to, let's go to the piano. I'm going to switch you. Okay. So I am showing the piano right now. I worked on the lighting in my room this morning. It's not perfect right now, but I'd like to know what it looks like on your end. And I'm going to watch this on my iPad and see if there's any comments coming in. And what I'll do is I'll answer the comments or questions in the comment area later, but anything that comes in immediately that needs to be answered, I can actually just answer it by talking to you. So if you have any questions, go ahead and put them up. I may not get to all of them, but I'll keep refreshing my iPad screen and seeing if there are any questions. Okay, so now if you can see the keyboard, go ahead and let me know. My iPad is delayed by minute, but I could see it. Okay, I could see the piano. What I can't, it looks like it on my screen, it's cut off just a little bit. I don't know if I could fix that. Let's see if I can. Okay. Looks like I need to fix that a little bit. Thank you for bearing with me here. I just want to make sure everything looks good when I finally do this, officially do this. So I have my camera positioned above the piano, so you're not going to be able to see me unless I put my head down like this. You can see my head right there. Hi. Okay, so here we go. What I'm going to do is test the sound. What I have shown here is middle C, so I'm on middle C. And again, I'm going to, please bear with me. I'm just testing things here, and then we're going to do a couple exercises together in a minute. I'm going to refresh again, see if there's any questions or any more new comments. Okay, I have, yes, I see the keyboard. Have the keyboard in view. Okay. Piano looks like usually does on your videos. That's cool. That's awesome. Keyboard looks good on Internet Explorer. Okay. Okay, so let me see what a chord, that was one note at a time, and usually that'll sound good. Let me know if playing a chord sounds distorted or if it sounds okay. So here's your C chord, G7 chord, back to C chord. Okay, so I'll wait for some comments here, see what that sounds like. For anyone who's joined, we're testing out the sound of the piano, see if there's any distortion. Okay, from Switzerland, it seems to all be perfect. Tone, screen, etc. Keyboard is visible. And that's from Mario. Hi, Mario. Okay, Judy, I can see the keyboard just fine. It does have a shadow from lighting, okay. It does not keep me from seeing keyboard though. Okay, good. Okay, that's important. As long as you can see the individual keys and they're not all blurred, then we're good. My husband said that he would be setting up my room so I have better lighting, whether I do it in the morning or at night or whenever I do it, I can have some consistent lighting. So I'll be working on that. Okay, let's check this again. Refreshing again, I'm just looking for more. Okay, chords sound good. Awesome, okay. The sound was in sync with the video. That's really important. I think it would be kind of confusing if there was a delay in the audio. It wouldn't work very well with showing you rhythm. Okay, looks good, sounds good, a little blurry when you wave too fast. Okay, I'll try to move a little slower. I'm going to refresh one more time and then we're going to go on with a couple exercises. Okay, from Panama, sound and video is great on iPad. Chords sound good. Sounds fine and is visible. All looks good. The sound was in sync. Okay, I already read that. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for commenting and letting me know that this is working. If there's anyone out there who hasn't commented, just comment a hi so that later I can go through and I can count up how many people actually watched the video and participated. So, let's see. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to change the screen to a lesson page. What I'm really wanting to do is making sure that the screen share is switching when I want it to, and everybody can see it. Okay, so I am on the page called the time signature. And I'm just going to give you a little mini lesson. Those who are here, I only invited members right now. I haven't invited the public or any of the free users. So I'm assuming you're already past this, and if not, it's a really good refresher about what the time signature is and what it tells you. So if you can see this, the time signature is the area in front of your music where the clef is and those two numbers are. And those two numbers tell you how to count. Okay, I refreshed my iPad so it gave me a little feedback. Okay. The top number, these numbers tell you how to count your music. The top number, the 4 that's circled on this page, tells you that there's 4 beats in every measure. So if you look at measure 1, there's 4 quarter notes, so that's 4 beats. Measure 2, there's 2 half notes, and each of those get 2 each, so that's 4 beats. And then 4 beats in the 3rd measure, and of course in the 4th measure you have a whole note, and that alone gets 4 complete beats. Okay, so that's what the top number means. And then the bottom number, which I really don't talk about in the beginning of the course because it can get a little confusing, but it represents which note is going to be going to get 1 beat. Excuse me. So the 4 represents a quarter note. And so that tells you that a quarter note gets 1 beat. And the reason why it tells you that is because sometimes you'll see music with a 2 or an 8 or something different underneath. If it was a 2, it would represent a half note, and that would mean the half note gets 1 beat. And that's why it gets a little confusing, because you have to do a little math and you have to convert everything then. So all of a sudden your half notes get 1 beat when you're used to counting them with 2 beats. So that's why I don't talk about it much, because the common usage of that bottom number is a 4. Most music is going to be in 4. And later in the course we talk about that a little bit more. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you watch the music, and I'm going to count out loud and play this little exercise on the piano. As you can see, when I get to the 2nd measure, there's going to be some chords with the left hand. So I'm going to count this, and you can play along with me, or you can just watch and see how it sounds. And I'm not going to show my hands yet, because I want to make sure that that the sound sounds okay while I'm counting. So here we go. Measure 1. Hands in position, both hands in position. If you're using 2 hands in a song, make sure both hands are up there. So the right hand is in your C position, and your left hand is in your C chord position. You know, I'm going to see how fast I can switch. Okay, I'm going to come back to this, but let me just see how quickly I could do switches here. So I'm going to switch this back to the keyboard and show you the hand position. So my right hand is on middle C, and my left hand is on the C, below middle C, ready for the C chord. So that's the position. Okay, now I'm going to go back to that page. Okay. Okay, here we go. You're going to watch the music and follow the beat, and you can play along if you would like. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, that seems really simple, but what I want you to notice is the beat is steady. I started slow, I stayed slow, and I ended slow. There is no speeding up anywhere in there. And there's no pauses between measures. So, and the tempo, since I started slow, I kept it slow. So I'm going to play it again. This time I'm going to play it at a faster tempo, and I'm going to maintain that tempo. No pauses in between measures. So here we go. And I'll be counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and will be the tempo. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, for those who want to try it faster, let's go ahead and play it faster. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so that was just a short demonstration on tempo, how important it is to keep the same tempo throughout the whole song that you're playing, and not to mix it up. Don't start slow and end fast. Don't start fast and end slow. Don't slow down in the middle of the song, and keep the tempo just nice and steady. And when you learn a new song, always start with that slow tempo until you can get through the entire song with that same slow tempo, and then you start to add speed or tempo a little bit at a time until you can get through your song with that same tempo. Felt like I said the word tempo a million times. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go to the piano this time, and show you. Let's see. You can watch the piano this time. Okay, so on the piano, it's going to look like this, and I'm going to play it with a slow tempo or a medium tempo. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, I'm going to switch screens again. Go to a different page. Actually, what I'm going to do is see if there's any comments. Let's do that first. So I'm going to refresh my iPad here, see if there's any new comments coming in. Okay, congratulations, Lisa. Go on. Everything are perfect. That's from Ecuador. Thank you. I can clearly see the lesson page, but it's very familiar to me. I don't know if a lesson page would need to be larger if it was new material. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, so you can see the lesson page, but since it's familiar to you, it's not hard for you to understand it. But if I get into more complicated music on a broadcast, maybe it needs to be larger. Okay, understand that? Okay, Susan says audio and visual clear for the most part. Sometimes audio tends to be softer. Maybe you are not on the microphone. No, I'm actually turning my body two different directions. When I'm playing piano, my voice is towards the piano. When well, most of the time it is towards the piano, but then when I'm looking at my computer screen, I'm turning to the left And that's where I'm not using a microphone, I'm actually using my built-in microphone with my computer, so I don't have an external one. So that's good feedback. I may have to put one of those clips on me. I think I have one from a long time ago where I can have the microphone clip on me. That might be more consistent. I'm assuming it's my voice that you're saying goes soft. The piano should stay the same unless I'm playing softer. Should be the same. Okay. Screen share is working fine and very visible in India. Okay, I'm going to refresh, see if there's anything else coming in. Okay, love what you do. Thank you for all you do. You're welcome. This is so fun for me. I can't tell you how pleased I am that this is actually working. I think we could do a lot with this. Looks and sounds great. Thank you, Carl. Okay. Okay, so let's go to another page in the curriculum. So I'm going to change this again back to maybe I'll try something a little bit more advanced, since I do have all members here. Let's see, I have lesson 5 open. This is where a lot of people get into trouble, is lesson 5, because this is where you start changing fingers. Okay, dotted half notes. If you remember, this is the page that introduces dotted half notes. The 3 on top says that there's 3 beats in a measure. We don't need to go over that. How about flower waltz? This has a lot of finger changes. Let's do this song, and then we're going to stop the broadcast, and then you'll hear from me again about when the next one is and what I'm going to be covering. So I'm just pleased that so far I haven't had any comments that says that they're not seeing this. So let's go ahead and play Flower Waltz, and wish there was a way I could, and there might be a way where I could have this music right up on the screen, and in a little corner you could see my hands too on the piano. I'm gonna have to take a note of that and see if that can happen, because that would be really awesome if that could happen. So if not, in the future, what I'll do is I'll tell you what we're covering, and then you can have your sheet music up on your piano, or I'll have it on the page where you can download it and print it. So for now, let's go through the fingering changes on this, which means I'm going to need to, okay, I need to go to the piano. Let's see, back to the piano. Oh. Okay, so we're back at the piano. Okay, on that first measure, you'll see that that first note is an E, okay? And by now, if you've done your lessons up to this point, you know that you can play any of these notes with any finger. It just depends on what finger is written above the note. So that E has a number 1 above it, so you're going to play it with your number 1 finger, which is your thumb. Okay. While you're in that position, the rest of your fingers will assume this position, with your thumb on E, second finger on F, and so forth. Okay, so that next note, which is an E, I'm sorry, with it, which is a G, is going to be played with your third finger because your third finger is already there. And you'll see that I have a number above that, and it is a 3, and it has parentheses around it. Parentheses are only reminders. It's not a finger change. It's just kind of reminding you that's where you should be. Okay, so on this song, your third finger is on G in this measure. So I'm going to play that measure. Your C chord is with the E, so 1 and 2 and 3 and then the next measure, your thumb is going to move down to the D. You can see that D is the first note there with the number 1 on top of it. Your chord is going to change to a G7 chord. Okay, and then the second note, actually, when you move your thumb to the D on this particular song, it's going to tell you that I want your third finger to stay on G. Okay, so you're not going to move and assume all your fingers in this position. Okay, some music is going to do that. A lot of music will do that. Okay, so you may be changing positions often before you even play a second note. So if I were on this D on the second measure, if there were no number on top of that second note G, I would play it with my fourth finger. So because there is a number there, use the number that's there. So second measure, 1 and 2 and 3 and. Third measure, thumb is back on E, and third finger is going to play the G. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Fourth measure, 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay, I'm going to play those first 4 measures again without any pauses. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay, the next line, measure 5. What happens in songs, in sheet music, is many times if it gives you the fingering already in one part of the song, and that little pattern shows up somewhere else in the song, the finger numbers will disappear on you. Okay, so that's why I did it this way. I want you to see those first 2 measures, or of the second line, which is actually measures 5 and 6. I just put the 1 there, and you're just going to assume that because I told you earlier in the music that your third finger goes on G, that you're going to do that. So second line, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. And then the next measure, my thumb moves all the way down to middle C, and you'll see the next note is E, and my third finger will be there, so that's what I'm going to use. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and refresh again. Let's see, it says, AJ says you have had as many as 61 attending. The numbers drop and rise periodically, probably due to connection problems with service providers. Okay, the presentation is good, the sound okay, and will become more polished with practice and familiarity with the process. Congratulations. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so you can see how many people are participating and not. I don't know how to see that. I don't know where to see it. So thank you for letting me know. That's actually a pretty high number. So that's awesome. Sherry says now there's an echo. And she also says, I can hear you fine. I hope this continues as I am thoroughly looking forward to more. I plan on having more. I really feel re-motivated and inspired to reconnect with my students. For those of you who know, I've had a very challenging last 3 years, and kind of disappeared here and there, but I'm excited to do some new things with you. So there'll definitely be more. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and change the screen again. I'm going to go back, let's see, to, it's taking me a little bit, I have to, okay. Back to where we started. And see if there's any questions before we end the broadcast. You can continue to comment here even after I end the broadcast. I'll check it. I'll answer any questions. Let me know if you had to do any troubleshooting. And again, if you're interested in testing out, there's actually a way where I can invite people to participate, and we can switch screens, so we can do a private lesson or group lessons. Let me know if you would like to, and if you know how to do that, go ahead and email me and let me know. Okay, I think I have everything. Let me look at my notes here, make sure I covered everything. Okay, I have covered everything I wanted to cover, so I want to thank you so much for being here and spending these 30 minutes with me and helping me get this tested. And again, leave your comments, ask any questions, email me if you need to, and I will see you on another broadcast. Again, thank you so much, and keep in touch. I'll try to keep in touch better now.